Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel for the start of my 2026 300 birding year, or 300 species birding year. Last year it was incredible, learning everything, meeting everybody, and going on more and more adventures than I could have possibly imagined, and I had an absolute fantastic time just doing everything humanly possible to see as many birds as I could. Hit the 200 goal very early, ended up with I believe 262, and it was pretty fantastic. Out of the 262, I think I photographed about 220 or 230 of them. Obviously some videos, some audio, did the best I could for all of that. Going into this year, again, same rules apply. I want to try and get a photo, video, or some audio of at least every single bird that I can see. It is hard, especially for some owls, or whippoorwills, woodcocks, stuff like that. That's really dusk or dark. Some of them are obviously a little bit tougher, but I'm going to, again, try and relay those the best to you. This year, of course, I'm aiming for 300, which 38 more does not sound like a lot to the average person. It's a lot, especially Pennsylvania wise, it's tough. Last year we only had 2 birders complete 300 in the entire state, so I'm going to be relying more on Delaware, Jersey, PA, and a couple of the resounding surrounding areas, also depending on where we go for our trips. So we shall see. 300 will definitely be a tough total for me. Lifer wise, I'm like 280 or something like that, so gotta do what you gotta do. But I just wanted to talk a little bit, going into this. I did not do an intro for January 1st because I only had like 15 to 20 minutes to go out and try and find an Iceland gull. I didn't get a photograph of it when I'm there. However, I had to go back for a different gull later in this episode or in the next couple episodes. So depending on how I edit everything out, I'm going to use the picture from a future reference for here. Same thing with some of the birds. So like the first bird of my year this year was an eastern bluebird. It's while I was driving and went past my car. I'm not stopping or crashing my car for a bluebird. No offense to the bluebirds. But some birds like that, my first few were obviously while driving to go see that gull. So I'm going to include some photos from last year's work, or even some of my 2024 like earlier test sessions. It's easier for me if I can just put that there, put a number next to it, and call it a day. But I am really excited about this entire year. So if I put the number counter again will probably be in like the top right hand corner. For you guys, when I edit everything, I'm gonna try and keep it a little bit similar to how I did it last year. I just want it a little bit more organized in my opinion, trying to keep track of everything. There's going to be less lifers probably this year than last year, just because I saw like 130 plus new birds last year, so very exciting. That's that'll be one of the more important birding years of my life. But now that we move on to 300, everything's going to be a little bit different, so we'll go on from there. But thank you guys so much. All right, well, if there's a little bit of a chop there, that was my fiance telling me that the road down the street is closed. So great, hooray, snow. But thank you all so much. I know this is obviously a little bit into January, more so than I wanted it to be. Just real quick before I get started on this episode, I'm trying to do a little bit like episode titles and stuff like that for this year, but I'm also working on the project that's going to take me a while, but it should be ready, I'm hoping, in the few days as of recording this, is the full-length video of my entire 2025 of birding. I'll probably do an intro like this for it, but I wanted to take every single episode, all 41 or 42, and make a little movie out of it. So I'm very excited for that. I'm still debating on the last couple things of editing, but I am excited for that. So thank you guys so much for an amazing 2025 and hopefully an amazing 2026. If you're interested in supporting the channel, you can follow me here by subscribing. We're close to the membership portion, but I've got to have a strong 2026 start for that. But you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, eBird, iNaturalist. I'll have links to pretty much all of that in the description below. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Let's get out there and let's get birding. It feels like about, I don't know, 10, 12 degrees. We were lucky spotted on Alani, and it's weird. I'm like halfway through my walk, and I have heard a few species, downy, woodpecker, northern cardinal, blue jay, and I've seen one bird, and it's weird. I'm like, okay, that's definitely strange. Normally by now I'd have 10 plus species in just this little walk. I've got 2 raptors circling overhead, which means all the birds are very well secured. The lake is mostly frozen, so sadly this trip might be a bit of a bust. First downy of the year, but I just want to take a photo of something. So we'll see. I have some waterfowl, it looks like, down here. I got fooled by a couple decoys already, so we'll see. That was at Blue Marsh, so we'll see, but very slow day so far. Right before this, I was chasing in a couple farm fields, horned larks, Lapland longspurs, and snow buntings. I had 1, maybe 2 horned larks about 40 yards out. That's it. So I'm probably going to use some photos or video from the end of last year, I'm not sure yet, to at least have some documentation for this video. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough so far. A little cold. Can't find my ski mask either, so when this wind picks up, it's going to be an absolute bear, but doing my best for some photos. It's not looking good so far.